All right, well, today we're going to take a super early look at a new deck that have been cooking up for set 5, Legends of the Force. That is Finn Double Blue. If you just want the deck list, it's in the description. But as spoilers have been released, I've been thinking about Finn as a leader and how to make it viable, which I think it now is. So let's take a look at Finn, the leader, and then take a look at the new cards that have been added so far in set 5. We haven't got all the spoilers, only some. So let's take a look at Finn. Finn has not been a competitive leader in the first 4 sets. It was released in set 2. Finn allows you an action to defeat a friendly upgrade on a unit. If you do, give a shield token to that unit. So that is only friendly upgrades. If your opponent plays a perilous position, a bounty, that does not allow you to defeat those upgrades. And then on the flip side, we get that same ability on attack. Finn has really good stats. He is a 4/6 and comes out at 5. So that part of the leader is good. We've just never found a home, a competitive deck for defeating friendly upgrades and turning them into shields. We need something that generates lots of experience so that we have a way to just spawn plenty of shield tokens across our units. So let's take a look at some of the new cards in set 5 and see if they fit that bill. All right, so I'm going to flip across to our first double blue card here. So this one is Doom. So when the regroup phase starts, it gives an experience token to each other friendly non-vehicle unit. So if you think about what we just talked about with Finn, this gives us an avenue to spawn experience tokens, which we can then convert into shield tokens. So think about this on a village protector, the 2/2 sentinel with shield. If Doom is sitting behind that, giving out experience, we can then use Finn to then convert that experience to shields. And we can even do it twice on Finn's flip turn. So that is Doom, a 4 cost 2/7, force and creature traits. So I think that is a pretty good card for this deck. Let's take a look at another one. Watto. He's a 3 cost 1/6 fringe card. So on attack, an opponent chooses one. They can either give an experience token to allow you to give an experience token to a friendly unit, or you can draw a card. So both good options. Again, we've got experience generation that wasn't there previously. And it is a 1/6, so even something like a blue leader can't kill it. So I've had these spawn up to like 3/9 type thing, just keep, or 3/8, keep throwing up experience there. It's a very difficult card to deal with. What else we got? Curious Flock. This is a 1/1 creature. We're able to pay up to 6 and give an experience for each resource paid that way. So it is a card that scales as the game progresses. So it can go all the way up to a 7/7 or 7 cost. So we could pay it 7 cost late in the game and then turn it into a 6/6 shielded with Finn's ability. It is a creature aspect, a creature trait, which when you look at the next card, Ezra, plays into it as well. So we knew Doom was a creature, Curious Flock was a creature. Now we've got Ezra, a Jedi with good stats, 3/5, that can come out and give experience on attack to creatures. So that's Ezra. Let's have a look at the other ones. We've got a early drop that we can use in this deck. Yaddle, 2/4, Force Jedi Republic with Restore 1. Keeps us into the game. We're going to have a few Force units in that in here. So what that means that we can have things like the Jedi lightsabers and that in there as well. So they can be on attack, giving a -2/-2 to defender. So Yaddle fits right into this deck. The Loth Wolf was spoiled the other day, so it's a 3/3 sentinel. It can't attack. That's fine. We're more of a defensive deck, at least initially. Being able to have Doom sit behind this, spawn out experience, give it shields, and then Ezra give it experience, and then give it a shield. There is so many options with this card. And then the last one I want to talk about is an older card, You're All Clear Kid. We're going to avoid the space arena with this deck, or try to avoid it. And we're going to defeat enemy space units with 3 or less remaining HP. And that will also give an experience down to one of our ground units. which we can turn into a shield. So let's take a look back at the deck. So this is the full deck here. Covert Strength is a very important card in the deck. It allows you to come from Smuggle, heal 2 damage, and give an experience token to a unit. So we know that we can convert those experience to shields. Helps our units survive longer. Doesn't cost a card in our hand because we can play it out from the Smuggle row. What else? Entrenched. So Entrenched and Jedi Lightsaber, I like to pair them two together because we want to dominate the ground early on. So we want to be able to play one of our first turn drops, whether it's a Quill, a Lothwolf, Curious Flock, or Yaddle, then play Entrench it, and then or a Jedi Lightsaber, turn 2, and really dominate that ground so that we can play our Doom out and begin to distribute experience tokens while we control that arena. Village Protectors, we've talked briefly about. Quill, I just mentioned, allows us to draw cards on attack. It also has Restore 1. Hondo allows us to, it's one of our other double blue aspect cards on attack. Steal an upgrade that's not a pilot, or move an upgrade around. So we can move it from an opponent's unit to one of ours, one of our own units. So we might have a Sentinel out there with no experience on it. We could move one of our units with experience onto the Sentinel and then use Finn to convert it to a shield. Rose Tycho on attack. So it comes out shielded on attack and give 2 experience tokens. You can defeat a shield token, give 2 experience tokens, and then Finn can convert it back into a shield. Refell the Dragons, standard in all blue heroic decks. Same with Vigilance. When we're paying 4 for Vigilance, you might as well have 3 from your deck. We're also trialing out Anakin in the 6 slot. I'm trying out 3 different 6 drops at the moment. So Anakin gives -3/-3 if there's an heroic card in your discard. If there's also a villainy one, we don't have any villainy, so it doesn't really apply. You can also give another -3/-3 to either the same unit or a different unit. Bendu is a force and a creature, so it's a 4/7 Sentinel, double blue. It also triggers off things like Ezra. We'll be able to give it experience. Bendu also on attack can give a -2 discount to a non-heroic and non-villainy card. So you can see in that very last slot, we've got the Crate Dragon. If you can get an attack off with Bendu, it means you can play the Crate Dragon for 9. So we don't have to play the aspect penalty that we would normally have to playing a red card in a double blue deck. Then we've got Obi-Wan that can distribute experience tokens to a force unit when he's defeated. So he's a Sentinel. He blocks the damage, gives experience to another unit, which we can convert into a shield. And then Luke is the best blue heroism deck, heroic card in the game. Being able to give -6/-6 when a friendly unit is defeated, or -3/-3. Having Restore 3, premium stat line. It's one of the best cards in the game. And then Crate Dragon to close it out. So that was the idea around the deck. And I actually think Finn might be, viable in this next set. So let's jump into some games and see if I'm correct. All right. Let's see if we can get a game going here. It's a bit quiet at the moment. With the regionals and that going on, so it may take a little bit longer for us to find a game. Okay, so we're going to play Grand Inquisitor at the Administrator's Tower. So red, yellow. All right, let's choose. We've won the flip. All right, so we do have a first turn play, but we really don't have any second or third turn play. So we could play the flock for 2, and it becomes a 2/2, and we can entrench it. It's okay, but it's not great. So let's mulligan. All right, so that's better. So we can put the Covert Strength into our row, and we can also put the Crate Dragon into our row. So let's start with Quill. Hopefully get some card draw online. So the Grand Inquisitor allows him to play a unit, deal 2 damage to it if it has 3 or less power, and he can get to ready it. Okay, so that seems pretty good. Like, that's one of the new cards, Aura Sing. All right, so let's claim initiative. He may do damage to it and try and kill our quill, which he does. All right, so we've got 2 Lothwolves. So let's put 1 in the row. And now let's start with our Watto. Hopefully he's not going to be able to kill our Watto. I don't think so with what he's got. You know, he's going to be able to play a unit, tap it, deal 2 damage to it, and attack our unit. So let's claim. Right, so that's a new card as well, the Strike Ship. It allows him to have Raid 3, which seems pretty good. All right, what are we going to do here? So we're going to keep a fell for later. We could... Let's go wide. He comes out at 6, doesn't he? All right, so let's get rid of the fell. I think he's going to have mainly low units, if I'm correct. All right, so let's hit into the Braggart. He can, on attack, so Watto, we're going to either get an experience or we're going to draw a card here. Okay, so he allowed us to draw a card. We can then play our Quill, and then we can also play our Lothwolf after that. All right, so that's a new card as well. You can do 2 damage to it, ready it, but our Lothwolf will protect us against that. You can see how good that Sentinel is. Okay, so we do have Village Protectors here. Curious Flock would be a 5/5. Anakin seems pretty good as well. Let's get rid of the Flock. We might be able to draw something out of our Quill. So let's discard a card from the deck. You're all clear, kid. Well, that seems pretty good here. Because what we can do is we can play our Protectors. That's a new one as well. Let's hit with Watto. He makes the decision again. Does it give us a card or does it give us an experience? He gives us a card. If he taps it there, so now we can play You're All Clear, Kid, and that will defeat the unit, but there is still 1 in the space, so we don't get the experience from it. All right, now we can pop Finn out and then attack his base for 4. All right, so what have we got? Let's get rid of the Quill. We've already got 1 on the board. We've got Anakin here, which can deal with 1 of his units. All right, let's attack with Quill to start with. Let's see what we draw. Jedi Lightsaber. We don't have any Jedis out yet. But we could make Finn a Jedi. Okay, so this is deal 6 damage divided among that many units. So we can kill a whole bunch of our stuff here. And he can ready that again. All right, well, I think what we do is let's attack with Watto first. He'll get us to draw a card. It's going to give us an experience this time, so let's put it on the Protectors. So we can defeat and heal it, but he will get only 6 damage across us. All right, so let's try that. So we'll go Yaddle out. We're going to play Vigilant as soon as he forces a tap on that. All right, so let's defeat the unit and heal 5 from base. And then he can distribute 6 damage. So he's not going to be able to burst our shield. And because we've got an experience on it, we'll be able to attack with Finn and put the shield back on. Which seems pretty good. That's what I'm saying. This Finn deck, it could be viable here. We're going to attack into the Grand Inquisitor, and we're going to turn that back into a shield. All right, I don't know why he killed his unit up in space there. I don't know why he did that. Wow, okay, so we have the Doom here. Yeah. All right, so let's put the score up. So for those familiar that tune into the live streams that I do, normally I play 10 games and we have the score up on the page there. All right, so Finn Blue, this is just going to be a short video. We're going to play 3 games. We've played 1 so far. We're going to have a rematch against this Grand Inquisitor. Right, so we've won the initiative again. We've got the Lothwolf and the Village Protectors. Probably not great because we know he goes straight into space. So let's mulligan and see what else we get. We're after like a Yaddle. All right, so he's quit the game. All right, let's, whoops. We have picked the wrong one there. Let's go back in. So we've seen a bunch of cards in that first game. We've seen the You're All Clear Kid. We saw the Quill, the Lothwolf, Curious Flock, Covert Strength, the Watto. So I think this deck might be competitive. Don't know how it'll go against like heavy control yet. We need a strategy for that. But for this type of meta where you're interacting with like aggressive style decks and that, I think a double blue Finn is decently placed. Right, it's going to take a little while. So yeah, as I mentioned with those live streams, they are 10 games, and typically I'll either play an off-meta deck, something that I've been prepping for a tournament, or even a theory crafting one like this. Let's jump back into the deck list while we're waiting. So the ones I'm not sure about is like the Hondo and the Rose. You know, do we run 2 Roses? Do we run 2 Hondos? And then same with the 6 slot. Anakin, Bendu, or Obi, which is the best there. So we still don't have an opponent. And then most of the other stuff is fairly settled. Like the tech is good. Ezra, whether it's 2 or 3, it's always a little bit clunky, I found. Same with the Flock. The Flock can maybe drop down to 2. We shall see. Right, we're struggling to get an opponent at the moment. Here we go. We have the new Thrawn Green. So set 4, Admiral Thrawn. Now this, I played this once or twice. It's actually very strong type thing. So we're going to keep this. We've got a Quill. We've got a Watto. So let's keep. Let's put the tech in and the Crate Dragon. I think there's a blue unit, 2/2, draw a card when defeated. It seems pretty strong in the Thrawn, because Thrawn doesn't need card draw, doesn't need options, and now it's just got more when defeated. Okay, so Covert Strength can go in the row. We may get Power of the Dark Side here. We don't. All right, so let's sit into base first. Discard a card from the deck. All right, let's drop a Watto down. And then pass. Okay, so now we've got an entrenched lightsaber or a flock. Do you like the entrench for entrenching things up in space? I'm worried about putting too much on one unit, given we're playing blue-green villainy here. I'm going to stick with that. Right, he's going to trade with Quill. He's going to get a double trigger on Cobb Vanth, which is super good. All right, so we'll hit his base. Let's see if it gives us an experience or a draw a card. So he's going to give us an experience. We'll take that. Power of the Dark Side, and that's what I was saying about overloading too much. So we'll just play our flock out. All right, so let's defeat one of our experience. Let's turn it into a shield. Yes, that Cobb Vanth was very good for him. So I think this is going, the Thrawn, we are going to see more Thrawn base decks. As the pool of when defeated gets higher and higher, this leader will get better and better. We're not really getting our units out that we're after. All right, let's get rid of the lightsaber there. Let's defeat the Kranich here. And give a shield token to our flock. Let's not give him too much cheap when defeated units. I would prefer more units from our side, but we've hit a lot of our upgrades and events. And he gets another Cobb Vanth. All right, let's deploy. If you've got a lot of action, sometimes you can sort of like wait to the end. But we do not have all the actions. So I'm playing something like Ray that has a whole bunch of actions. You can wait for him to basically claim and then hit Cobb Vanth. All right, now we're starting to get some of our units in that here. We'll get rid of Ezra. We'll keep the entrenched. He'll run the Cobb Vanth in and get more value. It's such a high value card in Thrawn now that it's got extra support. We haven't seen any new cards, I don't think, him playing yet. But 2 Cobb Vanth is pretty good. He should attack with Cobb Vanth, I would imagine. Okay, he's going to play the Malevolence. And so the Malevolence is going to give an enemy unit -4 and stop us from attacking. All right, so that's interesting. So what he's done there is trigger those ones. I think that was a mistake because we can now hit into Cobb Vanth and basically he's only going to trigger it once rather than multiple times. And what we can do is play the Doom and then entrench that Malevolence. All right, let's play the Doom out and entrench Malevolence here. He's going to claim initiative. Could have an OB and we could have made that a lot worse. We shall see. It is a super fun deck, this Finn one, and especially when you turn up to play opponents and it's not a leader that they've seen before, and they're reading your leader, and that it gives them a different experience, allows you to or maybe outplay your opponent by showing, like there are other leaders that can work and be competitive. So that's what we were worried about. We were worried about the OB. He's going to be able to take out Finn and do a lot of damage to Doom, which is what we were thinking was going to happen. So we could play Luke out here and kill Krennic. We're not going to be able to kill Thrawn. So let's just finish off Luke there. Let's hit with our flock before Thrawn kills it. He attacks the swamp. All right, so I'm going to claim because my suspicion is that he has a super laser blast here. All right, so let's claim. All right, so Bendu is decent. Do we still need entrenched? In case he plays like an Avenger or something like that. So I'm going to hit in his base for 7 while we can. Does he have another barrage or is it over super laser blast? We do have a tech in our row, so he does play the relief runner here. All right, so let's play the Bendu to stop his Thrawn. All right, let's hit into base with our Curious Flock. He has to claim because if he doesn't and I claim, then he is going to lose. All right, let's convert that experience on Luke. Well, we have so many Feather Dragons that I don't think we need entrenched anymore. You can see our Doom is handing out experience. So our Bendu got 1, our Luke got 1, our Curious Flock is continuing to grow thanks to this Force creature here. All right, well, we won that one. I was kind of expecting us to lose that after kind of dropped the Super Laser Blast. He sort of put us in range of Super Laser Blast and hit us with that barrage. All right, so last game. Hopefully we'll get one a bit quicker than last time, but you can see how beneficial this card was in that last matchup. And how, you know, just by adding 3-4 new cards in that, it should spark up new sort of, not the double blue is a new archetype, but just a different way to approach it. So you had double blue with Rey, and Rey would sit there just buffing all those little units. Now we've got Finn with the new card Doom and Watto and all that, getting buffs, but also turning them into shields, giving that extra protection that maybe is not there in the Rey one. All right, so we have got Mace playing at the Shadowed Undercity. So the Shadowed Undercity is one of the new Force ones that when a Force unit attacks, they will get the Force token. All right, so we're going to keep this one. We've got Quill, we've got the Wolf. So let's keep that. Covert Strength can go in the row. Do we believe that he has space in? If we do believe that, we could go You're All Clear, Kid. Let's get rid of the Fell then. So let's play our Quill out. You may put a lightsaber on this. All right, pass. All right, now we can get rid of our You're All Clear, Kid. Put a lightsaber, or he can hit with Mace and use Mace's ability to... Well, he didn't. Uses Mace's ability to do 1 damage to a damaged unit. All right, so let's put a lightsaber on Quill. Hopefully he does. He's not in Fel. We're not in Fel the Dragon range here. We might be able to clean up a couple of these units. So the Jedi Quill. So he's got a constructed saber. All right, let's just hit base and try and draw a card, which we do. That's going to be difficult to deal with for us. All right, and entrenched is good. We can get rid of the tech. He runs in and hits us, then we can hit back. So we have to hit back here because Mace's ability will kill it. Actually, well, what are our chances here? We could play a covert strength and heal it too, and then put a shield on and then hit. But he's going to be able to knock our shield off anyway. So let's just hit back into it. Wow, that's pretty good. We've got a village protectors for next turn. So he's going to claim initiative. Okay, well, in that case, we can go Quill back out and then the Loth Wolf. All right, so we don't need 2 Dooms here. All right, we've got an Entrenched and a Village Protector or a Watto here as well. We can't attack with the Lothwolf, but it's just there blocking. We've also got the Doom. If he goes space or something like that, we could drop Finn out and then throw Doom out as well. So he hit us with a Sorcerous Blast, deal 3 damage. So he's killed our Quill. So let's drop Finn out. Right, he's going to open fire on Finn, which means that he's going to be able to kill Finn. And do we really want that? I think we don't. I think he's going to kill it with Mace. So let's heal him up. All right, well, let's hit for 5. We can beat the experience, but I don't think it's worth it. We can like defeat it and give it a shield, but he could have hit us with Mace's ability. So I'm going to entrench in that case then. All right, so we have lots of options now. We've got like a Watto Village Protectors. We've got Anakin. Our Doom, we're kind of not getting much value. Have we already resourced one? We have. All right, let's get rid of the Watto at this stage. Next turn, we can go Village Protectors Doom if we go Anakin. This turn. Maybe Doom is better here. No, I think we just kill this unit out. All right, let's claim initiative. All right, let's resource the Village Protectors now. He's going to be able to kill Finn when he just deploys Mace here. Don't know if there's too much we can do about it. We could Vigilance, put a shield on, discard some cards. We do have Luke, but even with Vigilance in that, he can just deal 1 damage to it. So I don't think that's the correct play either. All right, let's pass. Let's see what he plays here. We should expect Mace to come out here. If Mace does come out, we'll drop the Village Protectors and a Doom, or we've also got the Luke. All right, here he comes. Mace is coming out angry, so we can either Luke and try and hit him with the Anakin, which seems pretty good, or we can Village Protectors Doom. let's just bring Luke out. I think it's too good an opportunity. These Lothwolves seem pretty good. Sentinel 3/3. Got plenty of cards that can buff it, and if you can get some shields on it. Okay, so he attacked our Lothwolf, which probably means that he has potentially a Luke. Kill our Lothwolf. Alright, so he's going to play a Mace. So while he's got the Force, he can use the Force and do 4 damage to a unit. Alright, so let's claim. Let's get rid of the Lothwolf here. So we can kill Mace here. He's just going to be able to kill us with his hero power. Let's just push his base while we can. Constructed lightsaber. All right, well, let's play our protectors. We can then hit his base with Anakin, and then he's going to be forced to claim or lose. He's now 6 damage away with Luke there. Right, waiting for him to decide. He's in within lethal range if he doesn't claim. If he does claim, we'll play the Doom out and restore. He's here with a grenade strike, so we just claim here. And he needs to be able to heal. Play Sorcerous Blast, but it's not enough to kill Luke, and the Skywalkers will take this game. All right, so there you have it. That is Finn Double Blue, one of the decks that I think will be at least playable. Leaders next set. Just the addition of those couple of early blue units, Curious Flock, Ezra, Watto, Doom, Anakin. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to distribute experience tokens out. I think we're going to be able to turn them to shields, and I think this will be a solid deck, at least into aggro and mid-range strategies. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are interested in watching more gameplay and more theory crafting and more off-meta decks. Those live streams are 10 games in a row, and those happen a couple of times a week. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you later. Bye.